What's up, guys? Just wanted to do a quick update video on the 2024 Honda crf450rl. It's just going to be a quick video because it is still sprinkling out. As you can see, my yard is starting to flood. It's been raining nonstop. But anyways, I've now turned it into a supermoto, as you can see, which I absolutely love. It is the most fun on the street you can have. It wheelies all day long. It makes it a blast. And actually, I've always said this makes a great little cruising around street bike, and this has made it even better, obviously. I went with warp9 tubeless wheels with the cush hub. The tubeless is something new that I've always had tubes in them. Tubeless I decided to try. I got these from motoxindustries.com, which has done every single set of supermoto tires and wheels that I've ever done, which I want to say is like 6 now. 5 or 6 sets I've done with him. I do have a discount code that you guys can use. It's 5 or 10% off, I want to say. So if you're interested, it is R6 Realtor, which is kind of the code I've always had since I've been kind of doing business with him. So check him out. He does a phenomenal job. I did go with the 160/60 rear with the 5-inch. It does fit. I know some guys say it doesn't, but it obviously does. As you can see, I've got the DID chain on there. It does come with a spacer for the front sprocket, so it doesn't, rub the casing, but that chain fits just like my stock one does and does not rub the case. So you have plenty of room over here still. It's close to the chain, but it does not rub. So, 160 tires are all different, right? This Pilot Road 5 may be a skinnier 160 than, let's say, some other brand. So just keep that in mind. Moto X knows the width of most of the tires. He'll tell you it's probably going to not fit. It's too fat of a 160. They run larger. He'll know that, so you can talk with him about that, or ask him on whatever online. So yeah, I went with those. The cush hub, which I did with my KTM. I always do the cush hub just to make sure that all that power doesn't jam on the transmission, especially all the wheelies that I do. And when you when you have this bike, that's all you want to do is wheelies. It's an absolute freaking blast. So much better now than the dirt version. It made a great street bike with the dirt wheels on it, but this is obviously even better. Much smoother, obviously, way more traction. It actually stops instead of slides, because that's what it was doing a lot of with the knobby tires on it. So yeah, check out Moto X Industries and use my discount code if you'd like for some money off. And that's with KTM. He can make any wheel tire combo that you'd like. I did end up buying some stickers, which came yesterday, but my mailman screwed me and put a note in my box and never came to my house and said I wasn't home. So I got to go pick them up at the post office tomorrow. So I got red and Nardo gray. So basically what it'll be 50-50. It'll be half red, half black, half red, half black, or I can do half black, half Nardo, half, whatever. I just bought both sets so I could see what it looks like. I may even do half Nardo up front, half red in the back. We'll see. So the look will change a little bit. And then of course the last thing I need to do is get the ECU and the Graves pipe. I gotta tell you, I really don't want to spend the money on the ECU. I don't know that I really need all of the stuff that it does, or even care about all the stuff it does. Just like all my bikes, my Ducati, all those settings and all that stuff, I put it on the most power and I run it. I never change it again. I never put traction control all the way up or halfway. I always take all the stuff off so it's got the most power it can get. So I don't care about any of that stuff. I just want to ride it, and I want the power to be there. So I'm almost thinking about getting a JD tuner or something like that. But everybody says you got to get the ECU. It's the best. It's the best. I don't know. I just really don't want to spend the money. I think it's just $1,000. It seems ridiculous. when I could get one of those tuners, and maybe it's not going to be near as good and it won't extract all the power out. And I do like the idea that it's eventually with the ECU that'll allow me to quick shift, which is cool when you're in a wheelie. It just makes for so much smoother of a transition when you're wheeling to quick shift in the air. So I got to do that. I bought another fender. It's basically a Honda replica, and then I just cut it to how I wanted it to look like a supermoto fender. And it came out all right. Same thing I did with the KTM. I just got a stock KTM fender and cut it the way I wanted it. So, stock fender is like $75. I want to say this is the Polysport, maybe. I can't remember what it is. I got it from Rocky Mountain ATV, and it was like $25. I was like, it says it fits like stock, and it does. It is literally identical to stock. So that's what I ended up doing. Like I said, the DID chain, I had to cut that. Obviously, it was like 120 or 130 link, so just had to size that out. He did send me the warp9 rear sliders, but they did not, the rear didn't fit because I think they were for like a 450R or X, older year. I can't remember, but they just didn't fit because this axle has like a beveled end and it would not fit through the hole. So he's going to send me a new set of those. He is awesome. Like I said, he's done all my tires and wheels. If you guys are interested, he is phenomenal to work with. He's been doing this forever. I mean, one of my first supermotos was a 2010 or 12 WR250R he supermotoed for me. Oh my gosh, my wife's car. You know, he's been in business for far longer than that even, but that's one of the first bikes he did for me. Like I said, this is my 5th, 6th, maybe even 7th set he's done. Always does a killer job on them. And, you know, of course, if you ever have any questions, he always runs me through or walks me through, especially when I had my first set or two. He really walked me through everything. It was awesome. And he has videos online that show you how to do stuff if you need to. But it is a tight fit for that rear. In my opinion, it's worth it. Like I said, I'm not a racer, not a whatever. I just like the look. I think it looks better than the skinny 150 with a 4.5 inch wheel, or 4.25, whatever the narrower one is. I just think this looks so much better. Zero power difference at all. I feel no difference in, you know, when the dirt tires are on there. It cruises at 70, no problem, without over revving the engine. 65 is obviously even better. Still has plenty of power. It's a great little scoot around street bike. Makes a phenomenal supermoto. Very snappy, a lot more snappy than the KTM was. It's got more of that motocrossy, you know, snap to it over the tractory snap that a KTM has. So, but that's that. And then of course a really quick update on Tenere, which is still without the new kit. I ripped the old kit off, as you can see here. Mega waste of money. Gosh, even this light, it looks gray, but it is sea foam green and it's gross in the sunlight. I don't know if you can see that. No, you can't. And that's the problem. It's gross in the daylight, which is where I see it all the time. Inside the house or inside the garage lighting, it totally changes and it looks cool. But I actually went with the gray this time. I actually had my the company do a gray one for me, so we'll see how it turns out. I'm excited to get that on. Tenere I've barely even driven because I was so pissed that I had to rip that stupid kit off. I think I've got like 150 miles on this thing. I've got more miles on this than I do the Tenere. So, all right guys, that's just my update. Want to let you know, use my code R6Realtor at MotoX Industries if you're interested. And if you have any questions, let me know. See you.